question.
What are you doing here?
Look, I'm still pending at Harvard, and I was just wondering if you had heard anything.
Oh, it's Harvard.
Hello?
You want to give her a full ride? I'll let her know right away.
It's funny.
Do you ever feel like we have wasted our youth sitting on the sidelines?
What do you want us to be doing?
Like games and parties and dances.
Are you asking me to prom?
Will you go to prom with me?
Yes! Do you accept the terms and conditions of my promposal?
It would be my honor.
And no slow dancing.
Wow, you really know how to make a boy feel special.
Harvard is my life's ambition. Help me figure out how to get in.
You need a killer letter of rec.
Your team captain, Graham Lansing!
I can't believe I'm about to say this. What about Graham Lansing's dad?
The Harvard alum senator?
So the plan is we stage a run-in with the most popular guy in school at a party that we were not invited to, and then ask him for a gigantic favor.
Easy peasy. You okay, babe?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Who likes to party?
I regret everything.
You just need to find Graham Lansing.
Who?
Graham Lansing! He's a Neanderthal whose only forms of communication are grunts and
Go Bulldogs!
what?
Go Bulldogs!
I'm sorry, but I'd be happy to tutor you. You know, as an apology. What am I doing?
Graham?
Hey.
Put a shirt on. Your tutor is here.
It is. Oh.
You're 5 minutes late.
Are you really willing to compromise your values for some letter of rec?
Heads up. Did you think I was just a dumb jock before this?
Did you know who I was before this?
Why'd you offer to tutor me? People would come to me with their expectations of who I am or who I should be.
This is my life, and I am not gonna let it pass me by.
Graham Lansing is not who I thought he was.
You are applying to Harvard. When you look back on high school, what do you think your biggest regret will be?
There's nothing that beats Harvard. Is there?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name of the school. Is it Hergerd's?
You're going out with Graham Lansing?
The Graham Lansing?
Ugh, stop. Why do you guys know who that is?
Prom.
Only because you're my best friend. But no limos. I'm not paying for hair and makeup, okay? This is it.
Prom Pact is a modern-day take on those 80s rom-coms, but with a twist.
Did you think I was just a dumb jock before this?
Yes. Did you know who I was before this?
No.
It sort of takes these classic high school stereotypes of the popular kids, the athletes, and the cheerleaders. We show that these people are three-dimensional.
It's a really great coming-of-age story about figuring out what's important.
Prom Pact to me is a story about friendship.
We learn in this movie that friendship is the one thing that's really gonna last.
Yes.
And we see that with Mandy and Ben, and I think that's a really beautiful friendship.
The biggest thing I hope viewers take away from Prom Pact is you should live your life day by day.
It's really important to forge your own identity.
Step out of your comfort zone and try things that you wouldn't usually try.
Sometimes life doesn't turn out the way you want it to, but it can be actually better.
Do you accept the terms and conditions of my promposal?
It would be my honor.
The prom theme is the 80s!
Prom Pact does a really good job of marrying a very fresh take on love with the very classic feel of the 80s movies.
Eyes on the basket. It's kind of a mix between the old and new.
We're portraying these very modern high school kids having a very modern high school experience, but then having these little odes to classic 80s rom-coms.
The 80s rom-coms and John Hughes movies in specific, we all have such a nostalgia for them. I know I do.
We literally have shout outs to all these old 80s movies.
Ghostbusters kicks it off. There's a Robert Palmer Promposal.
The Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink.
Max Headroom.
Back to the Future.
Great Scott! Will you go to prom with me?
The Say Anything film, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Movies that people who grew up in the 80s were absolutely obsessed with.
And the music.
I love 80s music, so we really tried to pick strong musical references from the 80s. We wanted the youth watching the show to learn about some new artists. We use songs like Let's Dance by David Bowie.
I think that's gonna bring back a lot of happy memories for people.
It just makes you think back to the past and reminisce on moments that you may have had. prom in the 80s, everything was over the top. It was like way more ruffles. It was all about the hair.
And I went to the prom in the 80s, and it wasn't like an 80s nostalgia. It was actually the 80s.
I still have never been to a prom, so I got to make my own, and it was great.
We're going to prom.